You're just sitting there, minding your business, maybe folding socks, maybe plotting revenge on your smoke detector. Suddenly, you hear it. Someone just whispered your name, except, and no one's home, and your cat doesn't know English. Welcome to one of the most common and least talked about brain glitches known to humans, hearing your name when no one's calling you. Don't worry, it doesn't mean you're secretly haunted or developing psychic powers, although cool if true. But what's actually going on in that overly dramatic brain of yours? Buckle in, things are about to get both weirder and way too familiar. Let's get right into it. Number 10, False Alarm Central. Let's end this auditory carnival on a high note, specifically one that doesn't exist. Welcome to the magical world of auditory false alarms, where your brain hits the panic button over absolutely nothing. Think of it like this. Your brain is the world's worst security guard. Over-caffeinated, paranoid, and constantly yelling. Did you hear that? When all that happened was your sock brushing the carpet weird. This isn't just annoying, it's your survival system overachieving. Your auditory cortex is wired to scan for urgent, relevant sounds, especially your name. It's like a mental bat signal. But sometimes, due to stress, fatigue, or sensory overload, it just makes stuff up. Combine that with anxiety or a hyperactive amygdala, and boom, phantom name call. It's the brain's way of saying, you seem tense, let me add a spooky whisper to your day. So if you're running on 4 hours of sleep, overthinking that thing you said 5 years ago, and suddenly you hear Emily when no one's around, congrats. You just experienced the psychological equivalent of a fire drill with no fire. Basically, your brain is the boy who cried name. Number 9, your brain is a pattern junkie. You know those people who see Jesus in their toast, or hear secret messages when a record plays backward? That's not weirdness, it's pattern recognition on steroids, and guess what? Your brain is guilty of this 24/7. It's called pareidolia when it happens with images, and apophenia when it happens with sounds. Basically, your brain is so obsessed with finding meaning, it starts connecting dots that aren't even in the same constellation. So when a random AC hum or water pipe groan vaguely resembles your name, your brain goes, aha, message received, even though the only message is from your plumbing. The evolutionary reason for this? It's better to falsely detect a voice than to miss an actual human calling your name in the jungle. One leads to embarrassment, the other leads to being eaten. So yes, your brain is jumpy, imaginative, and always chasing patterns like a conspiracy theorist with a corkboard. And that's why sometimes the wind sounds like it's trying to get your attention. Spoiler, it's not. Number 8, lonely brain syndrome. Okay, let's get uncomfortably real for a second. Humans are social creatures, even the ones who say things like, I hate people, or my best friend is a plant named Craig. Deep down, your brain is wired to crave connection, whether you like it or not. So what happens when you don't get enough of it? Your brain starts inventing it. Yep. In moments of deep loneliness, isolation, or prolonged social deprivation, your brain may start serving up auditory illusions like your name being called, because hearing your name is the ultimate someone is paying attention to me notification, and when nobody actually is, your mind gets creative. This is particularly common in older adults or people who've been socially isolated for a long time. It's like a mental placeholder for interaction. Instead of, no one's here, your brain says, what if someone was, and fills in the blanks. Kind of sweet, kind of tragic, kind of horrifying if you're home alone in a dark hallway. So the next time you hear your name and think, ghost, maybe it's just your inner social butterfly, starved and hallucinating companionship. Number 7, the sleepy brain shenanigans. Now let's talk about the time when your brain is the most unpredictable. That fuzzy, half-awake, borderline hallucination zone we lovingly call falling asleep. It's called the hypnagogic state, and it's like your brain took Ambien, put on a bathrobe, and started throwing paint at a wall labeled consciousness. Things get weird. You might hear music, random words, or yes, your name. This happens because your brain is in limbo between waking life and dreamland. Your sensory filters start breaking down, and dream fragments start leaking into the real world. You're technically still awake, but your brain is already clocking out and tossing hallucinations into the mix like confetti. And if your name shows up, it's just your subconscious yelling, hey, before shutting the lights off for the night. Honestly, it's kind of sweet. Your brain gives you a goodbye before bedtime, in the creepiest way possible. Number 6, stress cranks the volume picture. You've had a long day. Your to-do list is now a to-fail list. You're tired, your jaw's clenched, and your soul has that microwaved leftovers kind of vibe. Then, whisper, you hear your name, again, no one's around, and now you're wondering if your house is haunted or if you've just reached the final level of burnout. Well, surprise. Stress makes your brain extra twitchy. When you're anxious or overworked, your brain doesn't just become more alert, it becomes paranoid. Like a security guard on their 47th coffee, every little noise is interpreted as a potential emergency. It's not trying to mess with you, it just genuinely thinks it's helping. This hypervigilant state can amplify background sounds and distort them into something important, like your name. That creaky chair? They said your name. That gust of wind? Definitely someone whispering. That internal scream from your own soul? Might be your boss. So if you're hearing your name more often during stressful weeks, congratulations, you've unlocked a fun bonus level of neurological sensitivity. And by fun, I mean hauntingly annoying. Number 5, phantom signals from the brain. Sometimes your brain just glitches, like you're sitting in silence and then, boom, you hear someone say your name clear as day. You look around, nothing, no speakers, no people, no Alexa being creepy. Just your own personal, did I imagine that? Moment. Welcome to auditory pareidolia, the same quirk of the brain that makes people hear lyrics in white noise or think their dog barked, hello. Your brain is obsessed with patterns and meaning. It's constantly scanning the world for familiar shapes, smells, and yes, sounds. And when it finds something even remotely similar to your name, like a rustling bag or a cough or the wind outside, it sometimes rounds up to, yep, someone just called you. But no one did. This phenomenon is kind of like a false alarm system made by an intern, except the intern is your brain, and it's been drinking coffee made of sleep deprivation and childhood trauma. Basically, your neurons are trying to be helpful. They just suck at their job sometimes. Number 4, echoes from memory lane. You know what's even weirder than hearing your name in an empty room? Realizing it may not be a hallucination at all, it might be a memory remix your brain decided to hit play on for no reason. See, your brain is a hoarder. It stores sounds like a paranoid squirrel stores nuts. And one of its favorite sound bites? Your name. It's been echoed at you since you were a baby, softly by caregivers, shouted by teachers, screamed by friends in crowded malls. It's practically your personal theme song. Sometimes your brain grabs one of those old clips from deep storage and tosses it into your consciousness like, remember this one? The result? A name-shaped whisper drifting into your ears with no actual source. Congratulations, you just got haunted by your own nostalgia. What's wild is that this doesn't always happen when you're sad or sentimental. It can pop up during the most random times, like washing dishes or microwaving a burrito, because your brain is constantly background loading stimuli and sometimes pulls an old file without asking. It's not a ghost, it's your hippocampus being a DJ with bad timing. Number 3, stress turns up the volume. Here's a fun fact, your brain loves overreacting when you're stressed. Adrenaline? Check. Cortisol? Double check. Imaginary sounds calling your name from the void? Triple check. When you're anxious, your senses don't just perk up, they go full raccoon in a trash can mode. Your auditory system becomes hypersensitive, tuning into every creak, whisper, or wind-blown leaf like it's the climax of a thriller movie. You're not just hearing things, you're auditioning to be the next Final Destination protagonist. This is called hypervigilance. It's your brain's attempt to keep you safe, by assuming that everything is a potential threat or message. And your name? That's the holy grail. It triggers parts of the brain tied to memory, identity, and urgency. So if you're in a state of fight or flight, hearing your name, even falsely, is almost guaranteed. So next time you're panicking and swear someone whispered, Sarah, no one's gaslighting you. Your own neurons are just yelling over each other like toddlers on a sugar high. Classic Tuesday. Number 2, the cocktail party effect. Picture this. You're at a party. It's loud, chaotic, and someone near you is definitely overusing the word literally. Your brain is being hit with an avalanche of sound, music, clinking glasses, small talk about crypto, and yet if someone across the room says your name, you instantly pick it out, like a homing pigeon trained in vanity. This phenomenon has a name, and no, it's not selective eavesdropping syndrome. It's called the cocktail party effect. Your brain's bizarre superpower to focus on meaningful sounds, like your name, while tuning out the noise flood of everyday life. But here's the twist. That skill is so honed, so automatic, that it sometimes works even when no one's talking, or when nobody said your name at all. Your brain fills in the gaps, like a weird little autocorrect for sound, just to make sure you didn't miss something important. So in a quiet room, or a boring Zoom call, or a long walk where your brain has nothing better to do, It might just replay your name as a hallucinated blip, not because you're broken, but because your attention system is like a trigger-happy security guard, constantly scanning for a VIP named you. In a way, it's flattering. Your brain thinks you're that important, the Beyoncé of your own auditory universe. Too bad it's also kind of annoying. Number 1, your brain is a drama queen. If your brain had a catchphrase, it would be, better safe than sane. Seriously, the human brain is like a nervous little gossip who constantly assumes everything is about you. You thought it was an emotional support organ? Nope. It's a 3-pound panic machine fueled by anxiety and leftover evolution. So, when it hears a sound, any sound that vaguely resembles your name, bam, full on alert mode. You freeze. You look around like you're in a horror movie, but it was probably just a floorboard, a car outside, or your air conditioner wheezing its last breath. This is called a false positive, and your auditory cortex is full of them, especially when your environment is quiet, repetitive, or you're a little stressed. Basically, your brain is so eager to detect danger or attention that it would rather fake it than miss it. It's the same instinct that makes you hear your phone vibrate when it didn't, or see a shadow and assume it's a burglar instead of your pile of laundry. Your name? That's the ultimate attention grabber. If evolution gave your brain one job, it was to scream you at the slightest hint of danger or validation. So yeah, you're not haunted. You're just built on 100,000 years of, what was that, instincts. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.